or update me, is fewer than
Mhm.
5% of all the veterinarians are black.
1.2%.
Even lower.
1.2%.
Oh my
They
goodness.
the numbers, shift depending on who's given the data, but the data I see is 1.2%. It may be 1.2, 1.3, but it really hasn't broken 1.2 or 3 in decades.
Well, let
Um,
me say this, in the process of asking you for some context, let me just say I've had pets, and I have friends and family who always have pets. So it's not like
mhm,
black folks don't like animals.
mhm,
I mean,
mhm,
lots of black folks have cats, have dogs, have other types of
mhm,
animals and reptiles and all kinds of things. But
mhm,
why aren't some of those pet loving people, animal loving people, horse loving people
mhm.
becoming veterinarians?
Um, um, there's two reasons. The reason that I tend to cling to is that they're not admitted into veterinary schools.
Ooh.
There are gatekeepers. There's systemic barriers within those schools. The admissions policies are more stringent for Black students than they are other students because they have those stereotypical racist ideas that I just mentioned. Our students can't do well in that profession. They're not interested. Um, but this organization has proven those lies, racist comments wrong
Mm-hmm.
because we have probably close to 600 students. We have 50 chapters across the country now in universities. And we have students all across the country that are very capable of being veterinarians, and they're graduating. If you visit any of our social media this month, we have been highlighting all of those students in the different chapters who graduated this May. We had, I think it was 37 black new black veterinarians that entered the profession this year. Last year we had 27 from different universities.
Mm-hmm.
Tuskegee University has been the only HBCU with a veterinary program for decades. In fact, they were the ones that supported LSU in starting their vet school. That was
Mm-hmm.
the model that they used. Um, a little known fact. But so our job is to mentor the next generation of Black veterinarians. Each of our chapters do outreach. They go into the community. They adopt a school. They go into that school. They teach those students about veterinary medicine. They do outreach. They do shots. They do clinics. They do all kinds of things because we want Black people to know that these are young Black professionals that's coming up the ranks. When we had our first conference, the thing that sticks with me is that a young lady came up in tears saying that she had never seen a Black veterinarian until she came to our conference, and she was
Mm.
crying. And
Mm.
she said, please, please don't stop because this is my first time seeing a Black veterinarian. And she was in vet school.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
but she had never. So she had gone all the way through all of her her educational pathway, wanting to be something, but had not seen somebody that looked like her.
Mm. Mm. Is it still
So
true that Tuskegee graduates the vast majority of black veterinarians?
absolutely, they probably graduate 90%.
90%.
Yes.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
when you go to these veterinary schools, you may see one or two Black students. They don't admit Black students liberally like Tuskegee. Even Tuskegee, almost 50% of their class at times is made up of white students
Mm.
or students from other ethnicities. But you're not going to see that if you go to a PWI, predominantly white institution.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They just don't admit our kids.
Wow. And
Um,
and
they don't. We do have partners that do are looking to increase those numbers. So there are schools that do. If you come to our conference, I hope you can stop in and meet some of our attendees, meet
Mm-hmm.
some of the students from around the country.
Mm-hmm.
On next week, our conference is June 25th through 27th. We finish up with a scholarship gala. And we always have the Mardi Gras Indians and the Zulu Tramps to close it out for us. So we have a wonderful time. We have jazz music, delicious food. Our opening reception is going to be at the Cajun Ballroom at Audubon Zoo.
Oh, nice.
We're working to have some lab sessions at Xavier University. We're going to tour Louisiana SPCA.
Oh,
And we're going to tour MedVet Clinic. So we're going to be doing a lot during our time. And
so
we have amazing speakers from all around the country that's coming. We have a member that's in Cameroon. He couldn't get here from Africa.
oh,
But he's going to be with us in spirit, I'm sure. And we have a member that's in Nigeria, too, that couldn't get the visas,
mm-hmm.
cleared in time to get here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Mhm.
at one point I know Florida A&M didn't establish a veterinarian school, but they had a veterinarian tech program or something like that. Do you know? Do they
Mhm.
still have that?
They do. Several of the HBCUs, I think it's Fort Valley,
Uh huh.
has a tech program.
Okay.
They contacted us. They will probably be at the conference next week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think Florida A&M may have a tech program as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, and I can bet that almost every HBCU has a pre-vet program. It may not be formalized, but there are students at all of the HBCUs that are interested in becoming veterinarians.
Hmm.
And they're working towards their prereqs that they need to get into veterinary school as an undergraduate student.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to do that.
Yeah, I know at my alma mater, Hampton University, when I was there was nothing like that. But in more recent years, for a number of reasons, there's a horse stable with horses now, and
Mhm.
and that has caused a lot of students to look in other directions for careers of interest. With having previously had interest in pets and taking care of pets as a child or a teen, and then having horses, and they need help, and so that's been integrated into some of the programming. It is not a veterinarian school by far, but they do a good job with
Mhm.
educating students who are
Mhm.
interested in the sciences and pre-med. So I would
Mhm.
imagine that that's a place where
Mhm.
there would be possibilities for students interested in
Mhm.
veterinary medicine to look at Tuskegee and elsewhere. What
Mhm.
seems to be the issue with our people not getting into some of these veterinary schools? I mean, is it scholarship? Is it
Mhm.
testing scores? Is it? I mean, what is it? Because we have some good people. Um,
I can tell you what the primary problem is.
what is that?
Reason is not a problem, but the primary reason is black skin.
Oh Lord.
That's just it.
Mm,
You want to know what it is. We cannot hide the color of our skin.
mm-hmm,
When we walk in to be interviewed by an admissions committee, we are who we are. Um, and that's the bottom line. It's not the academics. I know. I've looked at admissions packets before, and you have a local veterinarian, Dr. Diggs.
I know Dr.
Ask
Diggs.
him. Ask Dr. Diggs what happened to him when he applied
Mm-hmm.
at one particular school. I
Mm-hmm.
will name nameless.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He will tell you it wasn't his academics. He even said that he was told that he didn't have enough experiences with animals. So when you said that Hampton had horses and things like that, that's a good thing, because that's one of the reasons why they use not to admit our students. They say that they don't have experience with food animals, with large animals, with this kind of animal and that kind of animal. So as much exposure as they can get prior to applying to vet school, the better the chances are. But black, this, being a black person, is the bar is always set higher for
Mm-hmm.
us than
Mm-hmm.
other people. So we have to, this organization makes sure that students are aware of some of those barriers, and they do we support them. We have a mentoring network. We have veterinarians all around the country. Actually, we have one lady that volunteers as a mentor in India. So we
Mm.
have people all around the world who want to support Black students getting into veterinary medicine. So
Mm.
we support them. We tell them what the barriers are. We help them to overcome those barriers. And we work to get them the experiences that they need in order to be highly competitive when they apply to vet school.
Well, you're certainly more knowledgeable about places to go to get on a track to be competitive to get into veterinary medicine and then graduate and practice.
Mm-hmm.
Since I mentioned Hampton, I don't want to give people an impression that there's just a bunch of horses there.
Okay.
Hampton has a vibrant equestrian. How do you say that? Equestrian program,
Yes, yes.
and so there's an official Hampton University Stables. That's the name of the stables in the program. It's on campus. There's an equestrian club. It's has been, not always, but has been all black team officially in the intercollegiate horse shows.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's association or something like that. And they have summer camps for young kids. So it really is a way for somebody, if they're used to cats and dogs, fish,
Mm-hmm.
and if they keep rats or mice, as I did, uh, then
Mm-hmm.
they, well, I did. And they can look at that as a possibility because it's something where students are actively engaged because the horses can't feed themselves much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they get sores and other things that can be taken care of with a veterinarian's assistance and guidance. But then there are
Mm-hmm.
more serious things that only a vet should handle, and
Mm-hmm.
but students can learn from that.
Mm-hmm.
So, so just a little
Absolutely.
bit more about that.
Yeah, that's
So,
good. Now, we do have the students here. They want to talk.
oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yes,
who do we
yes.
have?
We have. We're here in Baton Rouge in my home, and they came over from campus to join in on the conversation.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. So let's do this. While we get one on the line here, let's have somebody else call in to 504 582 9422. 504 582 9422, because then we can get a couple on at the same time rather than just hand the phone from one to the other to the other. So
Okay.
is that okay? Do
Okay.
you have a couple
Yeah.
there with you?
Yeah. Yeah. Just
Okay.
a
All right. So one of you all call 504-582-9422. Our producer is Jared. He'll answer the phone. Just let us know that you're part of the team with Dr. Daniel, and we'd love to hear from you. I tell you what we need to do is I'm so engaged in this conversation that I went over the break time. So while we take a break and then resume this conversation with your students, we'll be right back. So weather permitting, just hold on and let's continue. I think this is a fascinating conversation, good information for a career that maybe some folks haven't thought about. Or maybe they have kids who just love animals, but they don't know what to do. Like my parents, well-educated folks, but they didn't know journalism, so they look for other people who did to help me out. It is 8:27 a.m. The talk line is 504-582-9422. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Climate Hope NOLA presents this month's climate keyword, adaptation. Climate adaptation means preparing our communities for stronger storms, hotter days, flooding, and rising water. That means planting trees, restoring wetlands, protecting homes, and helping families recover stronger after disasters. In New Orleans, resilience is part of who we are and how we survive. Learn more, stay informed, and take action with Climate Hope NOLA. Visit Team Hope NOLA on Instagram to learn more.
This is The Law and Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Comparing the cost of wills, successions, and trusts.
A will might only be a few $100s, but your family could end up paying more in legal fees.
Trust costs more upfront, but saves time, stress, and potentially thousands.
Think of it as paying a little now to avoid a big bill later. Smart planning means big savings for your family. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. Whether you've been in tune with us since 7:02, 7:04, 7:06, 7:26, or even 7:58, or perhaps you've been in tune since 8:15. Well, if you're tuning in right now, it is 8:30 a.m., and you're right on time because we're engaged in a good conversation about black veterinarians and what it takes and how few of them there are. We've been in conversation with Dr. Annie Daniel, and she says that number, I said it was less than 5%. Dr. Daniel says, oh no, it is about 1.2% of all veterinarians in the country are black. That's not good, but that also means more of us need to be interested and consider that pathway. So, Dr. Daniel, do you have somebody on your line that you can hand the phone to?
Yes.
All right,
waiting.
who are you going to hand the phone to, and then I'll get Mitchell on the phone.
Okay, they can introduce themselves.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dario Mitchell. Hello, I'm Alexis Bell.
Good morning, Alexis and Darielle. How are you?
We're good. How are you?
All right. So you are at Dr. Daniel's home?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have some coffee or tea or muffin or something?
Yes, I had some coffee.
Okay, very good. All right. So let's learn a little bit about each of you. Who are you? Are you in school? Where are you in school?
Yeah, so I'll go first. Again, my name is Dario Mitchell. Born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. I went to school at Joseph S. Clark Preparatory High School before they changed to Morris Jeff.
Yes.
I graduated from Southern University at New Orleans, where I
Suno.
received my bachelor's degree in biology, minor in chemistry, and I am currently at LSU Veterinary School, where I am now a second year.
Good, good. Alexis?
Yes, hi. I'm Lexi. I am born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, so
All right.
just a little hop and skip from New Orleans.
Yep.
I went to Baton Rouge Magnet High School, graduated from there. I am also in the military. I'm a 68 Tango, which is an animal care specialist. Fancy words for just saying vet tech in the military. I then also go to LSU. We are both second years. I work in ER, so ER is more like my type of love, where the bread and butter is for me. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Okay. Did either of you grow up with pets, or at what age did you have your pet, or or did somebody else in the family have a pet? When were you introduced to animals and in your younger life?
For me, my grandparents had a dog, and I lived with them for a while. We actually had multiple dogs. And then like my family always just had some type of animal in their house. I didn't have a dog or a cat in the house at my own home, but I've always been surrounded by animals, which made me just love them more and want to support them and take care of them.
Okay.
Yeah, my experience is the exact opposite. So I grew up with a pawpaw that if it was out on the street, he took it home. So I grew up with almost any type of pet you could think of. At one point we had 5 dogs, 2 cats, a rabbit, a turtle, a snake, a guinea pig, a spider, an owl.
Oh, wow.
I grew up with with the idea of if it has a heart, we love it. I grew up in a very much family, animal-based home. Wouldn't necessarily say they knew how to take care of them because they wasn't big on vaccines or heartworm prevention or anything like that. But just having the heart for them of feed them, play with them, love them, things like that. So I grew up with that type of mentality when it came to animals.
I mean, I had a fish. Well,
What kind of fish did you have? Do you remember?
I had a beta fish. His name was Mitchell.
Good.
I feel that's
Good.
no problem.
Good. Well, I had a few beta fish, but I actually turned to other fish and got to the point where I had 4 and 5 tanks, and I bred fish. I bred seahorses.
Ooh, that's different.
It is different. And I bred guppies, you just let them do their thing. That's guppies and mollies. I mean, that's just, you're not doing much. They just have to be near each other. But angel fish, I couldn't do that. It was just wonderful to have them, but they're just such different creatures. But my household, I'm the oldest of 6. So it wasn't until child 4 that a dog could come into the house.
Okay.
So that was that's part of my animal story. Later as an adult, had cats and more fish. I even had a snakehead as a baby. And then it became...
okay.
And then
Do you still have fish now?
I don't. So I'm looking to return to that, but I love the idea of that. So I do know Dr. Diggs. Matter of fact, I was sitting with him and talking with him just this past weekend at a Brotherhood Fest. So it's always great to hear about what he's doing. And
Yeah,
beyond the
I
practice.
actually used to work for him.
Oh, did you? Oh, cool.
Yeah, I worked for him while I was actually still attending SUNO.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So, what do you plan to do with your animal experience? And tell me what it's like. Okay, so they're the two of you, and you're there with Dr. Daniel, and so it's in my mind. It's like a wonderful image of these three sisters deeply in love with animals and animal work. But then there's school,
Yeah.
and so how many of your colleagues in your average class are Black?
There's 8 of us.
Yeah.
In our 200 class.
Like
class
one.
Yeah. If that gives you a good
range
of what representation looks like for us.
Like a ratio.
Yeah. There's 8 of us that are Black. And then everybody else there's more, I'll say it like this, there's more Hispanics in our class than there are Blacks.
Okay.
Like it's predominantly white, and then Hispanics would be second, and then everybody else is like trickling down.
Yeah.
All
The
right.
Blacks being like one of the lowest.
Wonderful. So, at what point do you anticipate going beyond vet school and becoming a professional?
Repeat that again?
At what point do you anticipate going beyond vet school and becoming a practicing professional?
Yeah, so after veterinary school, I hope and plan that I have an offer and that I am moving to a different state and I'm starting, working under someone or starting my own practice in that type of form. Definitely like straight after veterinary school. But also like what Dr. Daniel said, like I still want to do mentorship and network and help out and do outreach and still like show representation to the Black community and showing kids that there is someone who looks like you, who sounds like you, and who has a similar background and who also can do the same thing as my other counterparts. So for me, it's just like straight after I'm done with this 4 years of veterinary school, that's when I plan on starting working.
Yeah. For me, I'm still debating on if I want to specialize or not. If I go into a specialty, then that would be an additional 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't go into a specialty, then like Dee was saying, or like Dario was saying, I would go right into working as soon as possible.
And
immediately.
Help educate and inform us, what kind of veterinarian specialties are there?
Oh, the exact same ones that they have for humans, they have for vet med. So like cardiology, emergency critical care, surgery, anesthesiology,
orthopedics, dermatology, like literally integrative medicine, like
internal medicine, just like anything that is for humans, pets need it as well. So like it would be anything like that you could think of. If you only want to do parasites, parasitology, okay, cool. If you only want to do sedation and things like that, and anesthesiology, like it's whatever really grasps your heart, similar to what it is in human med. It's not big differences like that. The only differences I will say is it's harder to get into clinical rotations and things like that in the vet med community, just because there's not like our vet med community is already a small community, right? Like we're already small. And then adding the fact that we're Black makes us even smaller. And then people that want to specialize is even smaller, so it's like very competitive. But outside of that, it's pretty, I would say it's about what you went with.
And you also can like go into certain like animals if you want to just work with wild animals, if you want to work with zoo life, if you want to do like cats, dogs, if you want to work with exotics, like you can also specialize into specific animal groups as well. And also, like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, Dr. Daniel, back to you. Again, I'm not a specialist or an expert in your field, but because I have been involved with higher education for a number of years, I'm actually a higher education accreditor, separate from being a journalist. So I learn about different programs. But my understanding is Alabama, Georgia, and Texas are some of the places where there's a larger number of black veterinarians. But is that true, or tell us where there are more of you practicing?
I think you probably will find the most in the larger cities like Dallas. You might have more. Houston, you may have more. Atlanta, for sure, because of Tuskegee being so close by. Those cities, I know for sure, there's a larger population of black veterinarians. Louisiana, out of all of the veterinarians, I know we have less than 10 practicing black veterinarians in the state. Just like in New Orleans, you could probably count on one hand the black veterinarians that are there. What our organization seek to do is to make it known that there is a market in the black community for veterinarians. Black people own pets. My own mother, she had a little dog, a little Yorkie, and she would take him to the vet on a regular basis. Sometimes we say there's probably nothing wrong with him. You don't need to take him. But she would take, being a retired woman at her age, she would deny herself. So we had to constantly check on her because she wanted to make sure her little Yorkie lived. He died just before Christmas, but she'd had him for like 13 years, and she loved him. During Katrina, my niece, they were trapped in the city. They refused to get on the boat because her pet, her little Zoe, could not. They wouldn't allow. You know that they weren't allowing animals.
Yeah, right.
So they stayed, and she put the dog in a pillowcase, and pretended that it was a baby so that she could bring her little Yorkie, her little dog with her.
Yeah. Well, we're going to wrap up this segment, Dr. Daniel. So one more time, tell us about the conference that's coming up next week, the dates, the Headquarters Hotel. And I say Headquarters Hotel because what you said earlier is you all going to be doing things across the city, but at least people would know where to find the bulk of your activities and the bulk of your participants. So that's next week. What dates?
Next week, starting Thursday, June 25th through Saturday, June 27th, we'll be at the JW Marriott Hotel on Canal Street. We have back-to-back sessions, concurrent sessions, all 3 days. We have networking activities. We have an opening reception, a closing gala. We have, you'd be interested to know that Sean Rochester, who wrote The Black Tax, is our primary keynote speaker on Friday at 10:30. So, and then we have Dr. Pamela Buchanan coming in on Saturday. We have Dr. Paige Carmichael, who's going to do a general session from University of Georgia. And just know that most of the people that will be attending our conference are Black students, vet techs, veterinarians, pre-vet. We have parents that are coming from across the country to bring their high schoolers who are interested in veterinary medicine. This organization came about because I was in a room as a Black woman, the only Black one in the room. And I did not buy the fact that our people are not capable of being in this profession. And I spoke up and I did something, and I started this organization so that we could have a coalition of people advocating for Black people in veterinary medicine.
All right. Wonderful. So is there a place that people can go online to social media or website where they can find out more?
Yes. If they Google the National Association for Black Veterinarians, I'm sure you'll get our social media. Our website is nabvonline.org, nabvonline.org. That's Nancy Albert Boy Victory Online.org.
All right. Well, wonderful talking with each of you, and good luck, Daryl and Lexi, in the rest of your education journey. I know if you're there with Dr. Daniel, you've got to be special, and I'm sure that they are she and others are looking out for you and have some high expectations of you continuing with the program, but with great success and lots of possibilities for the future. Thank you for joining us here on the Good Morning Show. Lord's blessings and have a great day.
You do as well. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So long. All right, folks, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to have a weather report update from meteorologist Damon Singleton from Times-Picayune, NOLA.com, Wake Up NOLA. This is WBOK, 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Auto Trends with JeffCars.com. Here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS, Pioneer, Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto Analyst, Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com. Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Step back in time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum, located in the heart of the Warehouse District in New Orleans. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling America's story in the war that changed everything, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. It's an experience. Plan your visit today at nationalww2museum.org. World War II Museum, where history lives.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan, a heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Good morning, Wake Up.
The Good Morning Show.
Good morning.
On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton, flying solo today on this side of the glass, but not solo because I've got producer Jared on the other side of the glass. Look, we've got a update about the weather events that we are having. We had some pretty nasty stuff overnight into the morning, and we're going to check in with my brother Damon Singleton, meteorologist from Times-Picayune, NOLA.com, and Wake Up NOLA. Damon, how's it look out there? Okay. Thought we had Damon ready to go, but of course it's a weather event kind of day. So I think we lost them to weather coverage. So that's okay. We will keep going and figure out what we can do next. I do want to remind you that with the weather events that we've had, that New Orleans and Jefferson Parish, St. Bernard, St. Tammany, Plaquemine, there just because of that tornado warnings and watches have gone by, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be careful, because there are already reports about tornado damage in New Orleans and Jefferson Parish, and we expect to hear more about that in some other places. Jared, I see a note, and I want to make sure you see it on the phone because that's not possible. But the tornado warning lasted until 6:15 a.m. And then the rotation was confirmed by Ed Metairie at 5:55 a.m. and was moving northeast at about 25 miles per hour. So the impacted areas were the I-610 area between mile markers 2 and 3, and also near City Park and the Lakeview neighborhoods. So there was some damage over in City Park in that area near Marconi Drive, and some neighborhoods were reporting down trees. At one point, we had more than 20,000 people without power, according to Energy. But in the last hour, we've gotten an update from Energy that they're down to about 1,600 people without power. But that's still 1,600 people without power, and for them, they certainly are looking forward to having their power returned. So watch out for weather-related damage, and watch out for flooding in the area. There are more likely than not some areas that normally flood are probably flooded in some of the normal places that you all know about. When the post-tropical cyclone Arthur became the first named storm, that it made landfall on the Texas Gulf Coast on Wednesday and moved over north to northeast overnight into southeastern Louisiana. So that's our territory. As weather people looked at it, it became disorganized, so to speak, weaker, made the system hard to track. And but there was still a large amount of rain. And according to an interview that New Orleans Mayor Helena Moreno had with WWL Louisiana earlier this morning, she said, we're getting very few reports of damage through 311, and she noted that there are issues across the city, and she urged residents to use caution as they travel the roads and the streets. She also added, overall for the city of New Orleans, compared to what other parishes are going through, we fared pretty well. As for the New Orleans Sewage and Water Board, they lost power to some drainage pumps during the overnight storms. And it was a failure with the $300 million power complex that was intended to guard against such things. So we'll be looking for reports and updates from the city and from the Sewage and Water Board. If you've got some experiences that you want to share before we go off air, we have a few minutes to hear from you. The talk line number is 504-582-9422, 9422. So let me be sure to remind you of the incredible event that is happening today. And we're in New Orleans, not in Chicago, but go to the Obama Center's website, and you will see at obama.org opportunities for information about what's there at the new complex, and it's a large complex. There's beautiful pictures of the place, very much a park-like setting with a large building in the complex there in South Chicago. Tells you about the museum, when they're open, how you can visit. But special today is a 11 a.m. Central Time program that we can tune in from New Orleans, elsewhere in Louisiana, and across the world. Looking forward to catching some of that myself. Again, that starts at 11 a.m. It is 8:57 a.m., folks, and we're going to have to get out of the way here and make room for the front porch. And after that, we'll have Tyra Smiley, and then, of course, the G-Man with the reality check. This is Will Sutton signing off for now. Lord willing, I'll wake up tomorrow, but I won't be here at WBOK. It's Juneteenth, and I'll be helping observe and celebrate that day and into the weekend. Lord willing, I'll be back here at WBOK on Monday morning. This is WBOK 1230 a.m., what New Orleans is talking about all day long.